Welcome to Mind Shield. We protect the mind and pursue the truth. Let's get started.
All right, let's dive in. Today, we're tackling a really critical topic, and we're going to do it with a very specific, very disciplined approach: defensive digital forensics. This is all about securing your world and preserving the truth. So, let's get started. It's a chilling thought, but it's the hard reality we have to face. When someone wants to mess with your life, they often not start by kicking down your front door. Nope. They start by quietly breaking into your digital life. And I want to be absolutely crystal clear about our purpose here. This isn't some playbook for getting even. It's not about hunting anyone down. This is about building a fortress. It's a lawful, practical guide to stop the bleeding of your personal information and to start methodically preserving evidence. So here's our roadmap. We're going to walk through this step by step. First, we'll get a handle on the battlefield, what we're calling the first crime scene. Then, and this is huge, we'll adopt the right mindset. From there, we'll get into practical defense, how to collect evidence, and finally, how to find a place of sustainable safety. It's really a journey from chaos to control. So the big question is, how do these intrusions actually happen? It's so easy to imagine some shadowy hacker using impossible to understand technology, but the truth, it's usually much, much simpler. And in a way, that's good news, because it means the solutions are totally within our reach. What's so interesting about this slide is just how mundane these attack methods are. We are not talking about some super complex nation-state level hacking here. We're talking about things like guessing or stealing passwords, those tricky phishing emails that get you to give up your info, or even just someone getting into your smart camera because it still has the factory default password. These methods prey on common, everyday security mistakes we all can make. Okay, this right here, this is maybe the most important part of our entire discussion. Facing this kind of violation is, of course, terrifying. But to fight back effectively, you have to make a crucial mental shift. You have to move from that totally understandable emotional response of being a victim to the cool, disciplined mindset of an analyst who's investigating a case. This is the golden rule. I really want you to let this sink in. When you find something suspicious, maybe a weird login alert or an email you don't recognize, your gut reaction is going to be to panic and immediately change your password. Don't. Not yet. Your absolute first step is to preserve the evidence. Take a screenshot, export the log file, save the data. Once, and only once you've saved it, then you can change things. See, if you just wipe a device or change a password right away, you might erase the very digital fingerprints you need to build your case. So what this all boils down to is focusing your energy where it actually counts. A discipline hypothesis just means you investigate the most likely stuff first. Did they get my password from that big data breach I heard about? Is my recovery email compromised? Did I click on a bad link? These are all questions you can actually test and find answers to. By focusing on provable digital events, you build a case on a foundation of solid fact, not just speculation. All right, so now that we've got that investigator's mindset locked in, we can move from just thinking defensively to, well, building better defenses. It's time to secure the perimeter. This is all about systematically closing the digital doors and windows that attackers love to use. Think of this checklist as your foundation for digital safety. It's pretty straightforward. First, and this is totally non-negotiable, get a password manager. Give every single one of your accounts a long, unique password. Next, enable two-factor authentication everywhere you possibly can. And, crucially, go review your recovery settings. Make sure those backup emails and phone numbers are secure. Then you're going to check your active sessions and log out any device you don't recognize. Keep your software updated. And finally, just try to limit how much personal data you're sharing publicly. Every single one of these steps closes another door to an intruder. And this is a fantastic illustration of a really key point. Not all security is created equal. Not by a long shot. While getting a security code by text message is better than nothing, it's pretty vulnerable. An attacker can actually trick your phone company into transferring your number to their SIM card. That's called a SIM swap, and they start getting your security codes. Authenticator apps or physical security keys are way, way better because they aren't tied to your vulnerable phone number at all. Okay, so you've battened down the hatches. Your defenses are hardened. Now we shift gears to the second, equally crucial part of this mission: preservation. We are going to build a case file. And this isn't just a personal diary. This is about creating a prosecutor-grade timeline of events. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a situation where you might feel like you're being gaslit, where things are happening that are just hard to explain, how do you create a body of evidence that is objective, credible, and flat out undeniable? Well, the answer is methodical, routine documentation. I want you to create what I'm calling a digital snapshot pack once a month. It's simple. You go into your most important accounts, email, social media, banking. You take screenshots of your security settings, your recovery email, your recent login activity. Then you save them all in a folder with the date. Why? Because this creates a clean before. If something bad happens later, you'll have a dated, verifiable record of how your account was set up before it was compromised. You can actually prove what changed and when. I know, it might feel like a small, tedious task, but trust me, this simple discipline of documentation is what transforms your personal experience into something that can be used. It's how you build real leverage. This slide tells the whole story. It shows the journey of your evidence, from just a simple note to yourself to something with real legal power. It starts with step 1, your incident log, just your dated notes. That gets combined with step 2, your monthly digital snapshots, which gives you that crucial before and after proof. Together, that whole package is what you can hand to a forensic expert in step 3. They can then validate your findings, and that validated report is what becomes powerful, admissible evidence in court in step 4. See how each step builds on the last? It turns your careful notes into a weapon for justice. This says it all, doesn't it? When you're dealing with harassment that's designed to be covert and deniable, your power comes from creating a record that is undeniable. Your disciplined documentation becomes the set of fingerprints that the perpetrator tried so hard not to leave behind. So let's kind of pull back and bring this all home. The goal of all this work, the mindset shift, the security hardening, the documentation, it's not to live in a constant state of fear. The whole point is to build a place of refuge. There's this ancient piece of wisdom that is just so incredibly relevant here. Seeing the danger, that's the first step. That's understanding all the vulnerabilities we've been talking about. But that second part is just as important, taking refuge. So what is refuge in our digital world? It's not about hiding. It is definitely not about paranoia. Refuge is that quiet confidence that comes from good habits. It's the calm that comes from knowing you've done the work, you've secured your perimeter, and you have a plan. Refuge is a state of preparedness and discipline, not a state of fear. So what's the key takeaway here? You have the power to secure your world and preserve your truth. It starts with discipline and it ends with refuge. Next time, we're going to build on this by looking at how to log environmental data, the context around you, without falling into cognitive traps. Stay safe and stay disciplined.